Dude, I'm literally so freaking zooted right now. You could blind me with an iPhone charger. But you need to look at this. I was literally just binging some YouTube, and this theory just straight up popped into my brain. But hear me out. Hear me out. Let me cook.
You wake up and briefly see Atlas and Peabody, the two bots that were built for testing. Gladys shares her thoughts about what happened and decides to delete Carolyn, the human part of her.
Carolyn, delete.
Goodbye, Carolyn.
Excuse me. No. That's not how computers work. I own a PC boutique shop. I build my own computers. I've taken a couple computer science courses before, dude. That's not how computers work. And this is the point where I knew, beyond reasonable doubt, that this is gonna be the story for Portal 3. As Habe explained in his Portal 2 story condensed video, Ratman already had to go back into Aperture Laboratories because he saw Chell getting dragged back into the laboratory by the one of the bots. So he had to go back to flip her life support from the messed up version to the backup, so she wouldn't just die in the long term sleep. So, but in doing so, he got shot in the leg. So he is in sleepy mode. But Chell already woke up. So I'm guessing that in Portal 3, Ratman is who we're going to be playing as. So as we see at the end of Portal 2, Wheatley's freaking Noom. Dude's freaking not here anymore. Dude's out. He's out in space somewhere. We don't gotta worry about him anymore. However, what we do have to worry about is Carolyn coming back. Simply for the fact of, as we saw in the beginning, Caroline was deleted. But that's not the case. Referencing this 11-year-old Vsauce video, this is what I suspect is going to happen, or at least I'll elaborate on it.
But how does a computer forget? Moving a file to the trash is just the beginning. To protect against accidental deletion, when thrown in the trash, a file remains on your computer in a temporary directory, a sort of purgatory, where it awaits a more ultimate deletion, but can be resurrected if you wish. When you empty the trash, you are warned that you cannot undo the action. But when you empty the trash, the physical space inhabited by the file isn't actually emptied. It's marked as empty, available if and when new data needs to be stored somewhere. The file's home has become available real estate, but the file itself hasn't moved out. Only the pointers have gone away. Pointers are another type of data on your drive that point to places in memory where the actual file they are referencing can be found. They're a bit like the table of contents, which means that on most operating systems, deleting a file and emptying the trash is like deleting a chapter from a book by turning to the table of contents and marking the chapter as empty. There's nothing here, do what you want with the pages. To a computer reading the table of contents, it looks like the space is empty, but of course that doesn't change the fact that the contents of the chapter are still there. Special data recovery tools look through memory marked empty, available, to see what's actually there. If you're lucky, they can even find a file and save it, bring it back, mark it not available, undeleted. But if some of the file has already been overwritten, there can be problems. The file can be corrupted, melded together with other data like some kind of digital Frankenstein's monster.
Caroline's existence and thoughts and personalities coming back except corrupted. That sounds pretty fun. That sounds like a pretty cool idea, huh? Just wait.
A couple years ago, a laptop that belonged to photographer Melanie Wilhide was stolen. It contained many of her recent digital photos. Luckily, police were able to return the laptop to her. They found it in a car they pulled over, but the thief had wiped the laptop's hard drive clean and had been using it for his own purposes. Data recovery experts were able to find some of her files still there on the now empty space, but the files had been slightly overwritten by things the thief had done. They'd been corrupted, but in a really cool way. So cool, Wilhide decided to exhibit the work. She titled the show after the thief who made it possible. To Adrian Rodriguez, with love.
Man, this theory is getting to sound kind of airtight, right? Well, for some of the skeptical people who might say, "Oh, well, what if GLaDOS just actually deleted it properly and did her best to make sure like it would never ever like pop up again?" All right then, watch this.
If you want to delete a file so completely it can't even be recovered in a cool, weird way, like Will Hyde's photos, you will need to overwrite the unwanted file completely. Deny the file a proper burial and rearrange its corpse with new data. One overwrite should be fine, but some people do as many as 35. Even 35 overwrites might not be enough. Sure, the overwritten data is hidden, but what about bad sectors? These are parts of a drive that devices can't access because of failed transistors or physical damage. An overwrite won't be able to reach them, meaning any data that was ever put there stays there.
Yep, that's my theory. Doug Ratman gets awakened and has to fight off corrupted Carolyn. Someone's cutting grass outside my house. That's it. Yeah, that's my story. That's my theory. See you later.